Good afternoon, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing all right today, as always. Just before we get into this next installment of Bitesize Leeds, make sure you hit that like button, smash the subscribe button as well. Share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. It's Bitesize Leeds, all the latest goings on in the wonderful world of Leeds United Football Club. Transfer news about Leeds in general, and yeah, let's get right into it. So then, just before we get into the main transfer news in terms of incomings, and outgoings, I think there's a main outgoing that we need to address. Obviously, it's been announced earlier on this morning that Calvin Phillips has officially joined Manchester City on a 6-year deal. They've announced it on Twitter earlier on Sky Sports. Yeah, obviously it isn't a shock. Obviously, it's a move that we all knew was happening. He had his medical on Friday. I thought it was going to be announced on Friday, if I'm being totally honest. But it has been announced now, and yeah, as you can tell, I'm a bit. I think it's mixed emotions about it. Obviously, I'm excited now at the prospect of the signings that we're being linked with, which I will get into in a bit, which is obviously the main focus of this upload. But I just thought I'd give a brief reaction to the Phillips transfer. Obviously, I've seen his first interview with Man City on YouTube. I watched that, and he was couldn't have been more like humble about his move, more respectful towards Leeds United and our fans. And everyone's probably seen his open letter to the Leeds fans as well, which, can't lie, was a bit emotional reading. I think if you didn't get emotional reading it, then there's something wrong with you. It was a message just to thank everyone that he's worked with, especially the likes of Bielsa, our board, the group of players that we've got for helping him achieve his goal. And we all saw what he's capable of in a Leeds shirt. We saw what he's capable on the international stage at last year's Euros. So now, he needs to go and prove himself on the world stage and on the European stage, on Champions League nights. He'll win FA Cups, league titles, and hopefully, I think I will root for City now, obviously, to win the Champions League. I think it'd be great to see a Leeds lad hold that trophy. So yeah, it is bittersweet, obviously, because we have funds now to use on our squad, but at the same time, we're losing a very influential player, not only on our team, but on the city of Leeds as a whole. And I wish him all the best and really, really a lot of luck as well. I wish him good luck. And yeah, as you can see, I'm a little bit deflated, but at the same time, there is positives out of this, as I have briefly just mentioned. So we'll get on to the potential incomings at Leeds United now. Firstly, Tyler Adams. There's a lot of outlets online now circulating that Leeds United are in advanced talks. I think Fabrizio himself has shared that Leeds United are in advanced talks with RB Leipzig over the transfer of Tyler Adams. Initially, I think Leeds were interested in a loan to buy option. However, I feel that it is going to be a permanent transfer now, as the fee that's reported is 15 million euros, which equates to about 12, 13 million pounds, which I think, as much as I've said it would be a bit of an underwhelming transfer, I think for that fee, and if we bring a certain other player in that I'll be touching on in a second, as well as Tyler Adams, then I think that's a really good bit of business. Marsh apparently sees Adams as the Calvin Phillips replacement. I wouldn't go that far. I think he is a decent enough player, but the next player that I will be speaking about for me is the Calvin Phillips replacement if this deal pulls off. But Tyler Adams will be a really good signing. I think if we sign the other player, I think it could just be a squad player. But everything that I'm hearing about how much Marsh wants him and everything, it wouldn't surprise me that if we did sign both, that Adams plays more. But I think the fee that's been reported for Camara, let's just say it, we all know it's more Camara. I think the fee that's been reported for him, if we do bring Camara in, I think he will have to play just based on fee. You can't bring a player in for the fee that's reported for him and then not play him. I think Tyler Adams would be a smart signing, I think, because Marsh is aware of him, is aware of his abilities, his attributes, the things that he can bring to the pitch. I think Mo Camara as well, if we can bring both of them in by the end of this week, which is what is reported is going to happen, I think that would definitely appease our fans. It's a tough start to week, isn't it? We've just lost one of our homegrown talents in Calvin Phillips. I think we need a little bit of good news and a bit of excitement and positivity this week. And I think we'll get at least one deal done. I think Tyler Adams will be announced by the end of this week, or at least this time next week. Anyway, I think it'll be done fairly sharpish. This one, there's no other real team that's interested in him like we are, so I can't see a reason why it won't get done as soon as possible. But yeah, hopefully Leeds can get both deals done. But we'll just briefly touch on the Mo Camara news as well. There's a Twitter account, I think it's called Don Mitchell, who a lot of people are saying isn't a legit source. However, he did predict the Mwepu signing for Brighton. I think that was last summer. And apparently everything that he does say is concrete. I've heard someone say that he's the Austrian Phil here, which if he is, then fair dues. But it isn't. Like he said that he would be having a medical either today or tomorrow. I don't think that's going to be the case, if I'm honest with you. But I do think that the fact that we're getting him is starting to grow increasingly likely. Apparently, he has chosen Leeds United over Brighton, which I'll be honest has shocked me a little bit. I did think Brighton would be motivated enough to get him, but apparently he has chosen Leeds United. And there's a lot of very credible Austrian outlets and newspapers suggesting that Leeds have already signed him. Leeds have agreed a fee of about 30 million, I think 25 up front plus 5 in add-ons. Which, as I say, if we sign him for that amount and Tyler Adams for 12, 13 million, that's pretty much all the Phillips money, isn't it? It's about 41, 42 million, which is what Phillips has gone for. So, yeah, I really hope that we pull these two off. I really do. I think to have both of them would just be great depth. Whoever plays, really. I mean, as much as I would prefer Mo Camara, even if it is Adams, at least we know that we've got quality in depth in Mo Camara. And I think Tyler Adams would be a good squad option as well, a really good option off that bench if he's needed, and a really solid option if Camara's suspended, injured, or if Mark Roca is as well. But yeah, the more outlets that are reporting it is getting me more excited. I think that Leeds will sign both these players. I think one of them could be announced by the end of this week or early next week. The Mo Camara deal might take a bit longer, maybe. He's not reported to Salzburg pre-season training, which is a really good sign for us. But yeah, a lot of very credible Austrian outlets are reporting that the fee's been agreed, everything's agreed. It's just the player that needs to have his medical and agree on personal terms, which, if Leeds can sign both these players within the next week and a half, and then bring in the likes of CDK and Cody Gagpo, which no real update on those two. I think Cody Gagpo's, that sort of news has gone really quiet, which is worrying. Obviously, we still don't know what's happening with Raphinha yet. Apparently, Barca are wanting to play in 3 installments, 20 million now, 20 million. No, I'm sorry. I would much rather him go to Chelsea, which pains me to say that. But I would much rather him go to the team that is willing to cough up the money. Apparently there's other reports as well saying that he would rather stay at Leeds and wait for Barcelona to get their finances in order, which for me is bittersweet because, yeah, I want to keep Raf for his ability and how he's helped us. And this might sound a bit left field, but I've seen other people say it and I completely agree. It would make more sense to get rid of Raphinha in this window, get the 60, 65 million, Even if Barcelona said, right, we can give you 50-55 now and then the rest in add-ons, yeah, I wouldn't be okay with it, but I think I could live with it. But 20 million now, 20 million there. No, it's not Klarna. It's not a finance deal. You know, pay up the money if you want him. It's as simple as that. But if Raphinha stays, then Cody Gakpo and CDK look more unlikely. I think Raphinha will leave this window, whether it's to Chelsea, Barcelona, Arsenal, Spurs, whoever. I do think he will go. Um, and if I'm honest with you, I wouldn't mind it because I would rather get in Gakpo and CDK as good replacements, which I never thought I'd say. But those deals only happen if Raf leaves, unless there's like other money that Leeds can spend. Which I'm sure there will be. But in terms of pulling them both off, I think both of them are probably going to be 25 to 30 million pound each, which you're looking at 50, 60 million. So, which is what Raf is reportedly leaving for. So, I'm unsure. As I said, I do think he will go, but I think the longer this drags on, just does not benefit Leeds United in the slightest. We need these deals done as soon as possible so that we have the time to bring in CDK, to bring in a Cody Gakpo, there's Adamu as well, the Salzburg centre forward that's been linked with us recently as well. I've seen Harry Winks as well, which I would not take at all. But yeah, obviously an incoming as well that I forgot to mention earlier on. Darko Gyabi has joined from Manchester City on a 4-year deal, 18-year-old, £5 million reportedly. A lot of money for an 18-year-old, in my opinion, but he must be a top talent if Leeds feel that 5 million is justified. Might even see a sneaky appearance at the LNER Stadium in York on Thursday. I will be there to watch Leeds play Blackpool. Really excited to watch a Leeds game again. I've missed it so much. But yeah, Darko Gyabi isn't seen as like the Phillips replacement. It isn't part of that deal. It is separate. But I think initially he will join the under 21s set up now because it's called the under 21s, isn't it now? But I think he will join up with them first. But hopefully we can see him in the first team squad and see what he's about at some point. Also, an outgoing that should be confirmed this week is Charlie Cresswell, who's agreed to a season-long loan deal at Millwall, which should be finalised at some point this week. Really happy for him, to be fair. I think it'll be good to see him get a lot of minutes in a really good league as well to learn his trade in the Championship. I've seen the likes of QPR and Hull City wanting Tyler Roberts. You can have him for free. That might sound really disrespectful, and I've got note against him. I'm sure he's a cracking lad, but in terms of his footballing ability, it just isn't going to work out at Leeds, and I would much rather him go and get minutes and play well for a team in the Championship, which, no disrespect, I think is his level. I don't think he's Premier League quality yet. I'm not saying, he is only young. Let's forget, he is only young. I'm not saying he can't be Premier League quality in a few years' time, but right now he's not. Um, and that's just facts. I'm sorry if anyone's offended by that, but that is just facts. So yeah, we'll leave it there, guys, because I feel like I'm just rambling a little bit now. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this instalment of Bitesize Leeds. Stay positive. Phillips might have gone, which is sad. But if we can bring in Tyler Adams, if we can bring in more Camara, if the Raphinha saga can finally get sorted and we bring in CDK, Cody Gakpo, all will be okay at Leeds United. Keep the faith. Smash a like if you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you're brand new. Share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment. See you in a bit. Cheers.